good evening, good morning. I am your host, Larry Locken, coming to you from the Oregon coast, weathering the Ascension storm. What tools are you using? What are you dealing with? I'm with my lovely co-host from San Antonio, Texas, Carolyn Lanier Roberts,
Hi.
and we're going to get into it today, shall we? So sit back, relax, grab a cup of hot chocolate, and do what you got to do. And I'll shut Mick up here in the background, and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Hi. We're back. So,
Yo, we're here,
we're
live
gonna
and in living color.
what's that? Yes, for sure. So I'm not gonna do the pray in thing or the positive alignment thing. I mean, I can do that if you guys want, but I just felt compelled today to
Take a vote.
just speak my intent and to how this will serve those who are called to this and this or any now that that you're listening to this and that you either gather new tools, more tools from what you already have, or that you become conscious of what you already have present and that you're adding on to it, or that you become aware of some of the ones that you're using now are not working for you and you are ready to let those go. And that we hopefully inspire you to point within yourself to discern and rediscover what those are that will help you move into better alignment for your truth. Okay.
Absolutely. I forgot real quick. I forgot to thank everybody listening. Okay, watching the live on YouTube. Hey, everybody on Pleiadian Express Productions. Hey, everybody on Twitch. Hey, everybody on TikTok Live. Hey, everybody on Facebook Live on the Conscious Conversations with Carolyn and Larry page. And hello, everybody to X, formerly known as Twitter, the formerly known. I like that. Wouldn't you like to be formerly known as Carolyn? You could come up with some crazy ass name. Yeah,
we
some
could be
symbol.
formerly known every day, you know?
Formerly known as the
formerly known. This aspect
Yeah.
of me, formerly known. Now, this other aspect of me, which is the one that's presenting. Yeah, so today we're talking about weathering the storm, and all the words for the intro to this podcast came through me. My guides woke me up as they usually do a couple days ago, and usually I know I got to write them down because they say them so much repeatedly. And I reach a point where I'm like, fine, yes, I'm getting up, I'm going to write them down. And they kept repeating, weathering the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the forming of everything they were saying started to come through. And I'm not sure energetically. I know there's a lot happening. I know we're at a pivotal point, yes, but I'm not sure why this particular thing is coming through now. I'm just going to trust that it's here and it's going to serve those called to this now, and maybe their souls called for it and this is coming through. But this podcast is about the tools that you need, you uniquely, your own personal self need to move through every day and recreate what you are, to move through the energy, to move through your experiences, the challenges, and everything. This is I'm not even going to do the list. Larry and I talked about it. We could do list. We could do lots of lists. And lists are great. I'm not saying they're not, but
they're wonderful. We could all use a few more of them in our lives.
lots
But
of
yeah,
lists. What I've
lots
been
of
guided
motherfuckers.
towards more than anything, more than doing the list, which is great because there's a Virgo part of me that loves those lists. But it's like what I get more than anything is, I've been pushed to it the last 2 days, is just what has helped me. That's what I kept getting when I'm in even the last few days, I've been guided within me. It's come into my awareness. Okay, what's happening now? What are you doing now? What are you doing now to move through this? What are you doing now? And so, like, some of the things, and again, this is probably not going to be as organized as other podcasts, but Larry and I feel like one of the things we talked about yesterday is that, yes, there has to be an order too, but it's also important to recognize that what's present and real in one moment may not be relevant in the next moment. And so as we're talking to you and sharing with you all of this, we are also doing our best to stay relevant in every moment, because the truth is every moment is unknown and every moment is a gift, and it's energy's changing now all the time, and anybody knows this, and everybody feels this difference. If you want to point external to things, if you want to look at the things happening within yourself, It's all shifting. So we're doing our best to kind of, I'm seeing, be on this surfboard, surfing these energies. So, um, one of the main things, and he put it in the intro, is I used to ask my clients all the time, how do you recreate yourself every morning? What are those things that you do that you wake up and that you recreate what you want to present to your world and what you want to be for yourself, what aligns you with you? And yes, they are the steps of the meditation and the exercise, but there's even more significant things of pausing and not being on automatic pilot in the habits, because you have to be present and conscious in those so that you're getting the most from them. I offer that you could even do weight training if you are conscious in that space and you are consciously breathing. You're not just counting reps and like mentally someplace else, with what benefits the mind, body, spirit, because it is the body, it is the energy that we are that is ascending. Or you could say the energy that we are, the light that we are, is descending into the body. So you want to be present. So if you're like doing those weights, that's fine, but you need to be present. It's not about pushing through. It's about maybe even doing those weights and visualizing your muscles getting that energy going into them. When you're running, it's not about pushing through that last mile, although I understand there is muscular fatigue.
Yes,
But
it's human nature.
about, yeah, it's about respecting your body. Oh, wow, we're going to do this. We're going to get through this last thing. Yeah, we're going to do it. And then you're thinking kind things to yourself, and you're moving yourself forward that way. It's not about kicking your own ass, though I understand that does come into play occasionally, but
quite a
it's
bit. Yeah.
about, you have to be conscious, because the truth is the bodies are these sovereign energies that are separate from us. They are the ones that have always been aligned with what is true. And we, as maybe you could say the ego is coming in line now with higher self, we're the ones now getting into our alignment. The bodies are putting us back into the places that are our true alignment. And so it's a matter of listening, really listening to the body. Hi. It's also, it's like you might wake up in the morning and maybe you sing. I love to sing. So maybe you feel like singing.
Would you sing for us?
Maybe
You got a little tune you'd like to,
I
whip
don't
out,
want
like,
to sing.
oh, the
No,
stars
I
at
don't
night
feel
are
like
big and bright. I hear the stars at night are mighty big and bright down there in Texas.
he wants me to sing. If I ever feel like it, I will. Right now, I'm shooting from the hip right now, Larry. But it's
There went Twitch. Okay, no, there they are.
is it we good? Oh,
Yeah, we're good on
wow.
Twitch. Yeah.
All right. So right now, Valentina, we can't reply on YouTube, which kind of sucks, but I see what you said. I'm going to announce this. I hope you understand that. She just said on the message here on YouTube, she says, I have cancer. I am sorry. I am so sorry that you have cancer. I pray that anything that we offer is able to give you energy and, I'm hearing, impetus to move through what
Absolutely.
you need to do for yourself and for your body, and that you move into a more, I'm hearing, a healthier conversation with your body. And healthy, when I say that, is not the 3D depiction of it, although I respect that. Healthy to me is also, it's a deep conversation. It's not external, although there's an element of that. It's you having a conversation with you and really listening and really responding and really making those changes, and making those changes that need to be made for you, not from a place of, I'm hearing, anger or disgust or frustration or desperation, but from a place of trust in you, trust from what you research for yourself, what you take. You can even get information from doctors. You bring that information into you. Does it resonate with you? Resonation, reason of the heart. You are an eternal being. So your job as you choose, and your joy, is to take all of that information external from you, bring it into you, process it through you. The sovereignty that you are as a child of God and an eternal being. Does that resonate with me? Is that something I can see myself doing? And then you have to weigh within yourself, is this right for me? And you might change what's right for you because you might feel like you have to, and that's a personal choice. But in every moment, you have to decide, what do I want for myself? What do I choose for myself? What is the highest choice I can make for myself? Am I willing to make that? Am I willing to commit to that for myself? And I pray that
Yeah.
any of this serves you, Valentina. And I send you so much love.
Yeah,
And I'm
absolutely,
grateful, and
girl.
I'm
Yeah.
grateful for for anything, for your viewership, for anything that helps, that serves.
Yeah, thank you
Um,
for tuning in today. We really appreciate it, Valentina. Really. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing but mad love for you, girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. So,
yeah.
like
So
we were talking, though, I'm going to just
yeah,
for a second, like we were talking before, usually for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now, when we've had these ascension, these celestial events, these portal gateways, I've usually got to the point where I've just kind of trucked through it. So any problems I get are a little bit mental with it. The
yeah,
physical problems I quit having like probably 10 years ago with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But mentally it really can kind of screw with your head. So I think it's a matter to me, like for me, I found that you've got to be like you said, you've got to be conscious of what you're doing and
yeah,
aware of it, and try to stay away, especially in this time, as easy as it is, stay away from going on autopilot. You know what I mean? It's so easy to want to just go on autopilot, right? That we do
it
that.
is. It's
So
I You go
I'm
on,
kind of
Larry.
an yeah, well, we're kind of old veterans at this, right? I mean, we remember the big wave from 2011 through 2015 when everybody was just getting their ass kicked by this stuff.
Right.
And but now we're coming into new territory, right? We've got September coming up, and you've got the gateway portal,
Yeah.
the blood moon, the planetary alignments going on. There's
And
a
I know.
lot of shit going on, right? So it's like that, right? And I haven't felt waves like this, since we had that big one in September. Between September and now, I haven't felt any time like this since during those years back then in the early to mid part of the last decade. And I think some people who hear this might be able to resonate with it, that were awakened and channeling and shit back in those days. Um,
Right.
so like it's just it's different though. These are a different kind of feeling to them. Some of this stuff's familiar to me, right? But at the same time, some of it's really new as well.
Brand new. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're in I can only talk about my personal experience, and we are in a different energy than we were in, like very different. Like we haven't, just like you're saying, Larry. Yeah, I'm still trying to, it's still so new. It's like there isn't anything to connect it with right now. It's very new. I feel more, I'm more aware, I'm more awake. When I do these podcasts, I'm here, but I'm also aware that sometimes there's a part of me that's elsewhere. Um, and that's happening now, but it's not as much. I'm also here. I'm very much here.
Yeah, it's
Um,
strange. It's in it and out of it
it's
all at once, right? It's kind of like the
really,
split realities with people. We're living in the same reality. There's a split, but yet we're living and coexisting in the same reality of these
it's
folks.
it's really weird. Okay, so what I was gonna say was, I was listening to a channel this morning and I liked what they said. I know it's a trite term, but there's relevance to it. The matrix, and they were talking about what the matrix is, and they were saying
Hmm.
that it's a series of thought forms. It's a series of deliberate, it's like it's been a structural trap, is what I'm hearing within me, and I'm not choosing to give energy to that, but I'm bringing it forward to bring awareness to it. That when you're talking about the mental, when you get into that mental place, and I know that mental place, I can be very cerebral myself, but you get those, that we get in those mental traps and those things that we tell ourselves. And I've had to learn over the years how I move out of those, which is like, one of the things for me is that I get outside. I go outside. I get out
Hmm.
of whatever that environment I'm in. like I'm in the house, maybe looking at my phone, or I'm watching something on TV, or I'm caught watching, I break that pattern immediately, and I go outside, and I personally love to walk barefoot. So I'll take my
Yeah.
shoes off and I'll go
So
walk
do I.
barefoot,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I will intentionally shift, or I'll just surrender. I'll go outside and I'll let the outside energy and the outside noises or sounds, like the birds or even dogs barking, to break me out of that
That's a good
pattern.
idea. You're
Yeah,
conscious that you're doing that, though. See, that's conscious. I like how you put that. I've never really thought of it that way, even though I've done that a million times.
yeah, I mean, for me, I'm an artist, so one of the other things I do is that I have to be inspired generally, but not always. I'll grab a pad and some paper and I'll start drawing. I'll start, or if I'm really want to, I'll grab some paint and I'll start, and I'll shift. I'll put on sounds that are right for me, and sounds for me, and it's not necessarily music. It's sounds. It's
Like,
frequencies, and I'll put it
yeah,
on, and it's the one that feels right because you're listening and you're trying to find that one. And to me, that one that works for you is one that's bringing you into an energetic alignment, and you're listening to it, and then you're doing some activity, even if it's just breathing, but you're doing something, and I'm getting, it's like a release. It's a release, and it's moving you out of that cerebral. What am I hearing? I'm hearing
I'm in the
cerebral
field.
quagmire. I'm
Yeah,
hearing cerebral quagmire. Who in the hell is, one of my guys says quagmire. So it's this stuck space where you're up in your head and you're in
yeah,
those thoughts. And I know that one. I know that one where you can go into these places where you're happy as hell, and then all of a sudden, why do you feel like shit? Why do you feel bad?
right.
Why do you feel sad? Why do you feel, well, understand, and I said this other podcast, it depends on how sensitive you are, but if you are an
Yeah,
empath, then you have to understand that what you're feeling may not even be your own. It's an energy that
it's the
you might have
frequency you're
cords.
tuning into. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
or you
radio
might have
station.
cords
You're tuning
attached to
into
you.
shit. Yeah,
You got to clear out. And that's one of those things to do every morning. And it doesn't have to be a particular, I'm getting like a YouTube thing that's disconnecting cords. To me, it's a matter of, you can go outside and just be present, be
because
completely
we get
present.
caught up in the structure. Sometimes we get so caught up in the structure. You mentioned like a YouTube tutorial or something, right? We get caught up in the
Yeah,
structure of something more so than we do the actual thing of it, right? I've noticed that
right,
with just about everything that we run into. You know what I mean?
right. And to me, and I offer this. This is just what I can offer. You take or choose what is right for you. Is that the creation of everything begins in the non-physical, it's energy, and it begins with intent. What is the intent? And I'm hearing the intent is what holds it together. So when you bring yourself into the present moment, even if you're listening to a guided meditation, if your intent isn't aligned with the fact that you are consciously working on, I want to get the most I can get from this meditation, rather than just picking a meditation randomly,
Mm-hmm.
passively is what I'm hearing, and just throwing it on because you're
Going
just
for it. Yeah,
trying to
man.
get, you have to, what I'm getting, this is the difficult part, but, and I said this even the first podcast, my guides have always said that every single soul living on earth now, every soul, no matter how it appears in their life, is doing heavy lifting. Energetically, they're doing heavy lifting to exist now in this space. And it doesn't mean that you don't get breaks, because, oh my God, we need breaks. You need to give yourself a break, let yourself sleep, um, be kind to yourself, nurture yourself, do all of these things. But it's also a place where when you fill yourself up, then you can go back out, go back and do, and still have awareness of those choices. I offer, even what I'm getting is, I'm hearing passivity is done. I'm sitting here arguing with that within myself. How can passivity be done? But it's like we are
Bring it on. Yeah.
becoming, it's like, can that be done, Larry? Do you think that could be done? I don't know.
Oh
That's what I'm
man.
hearing.
Not till
But we,
total ascension. Not without total ascension. No,
without,
I don't
yeah,
really don't.
we're
It
moving
can be
into that
pulled.
place where you pull back everything into yourself. because when you pull
Yeah.
back everything into yourself, that's the place where you can transform it, because you're transforming your perspective of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so these tools that we're giving you today are about you taking back what you've allowed, or what has taken you, like derailed you in some way, and you have tools. And I would offer, it's even important to be conscious of the tools that you have. So, I mean, I have random ones that I can offer. Like, sometimes I'll be listening to a tarot reader, or I'll be listening to
Yeah.
a person online, and their energy, their frequency is so high that I can follow what they're saying, but there's a point where I don't need to anymore, because their frequency so much connects with mine that I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
risen.
All the
I'm risen
time.
by their frequency, and I'm connected back into
Mm-hmm.
mine, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And so it's
totally.
like
100%.
they're a tool, whether they're with whatever they're saying, it doesn't matter. They are the frequency, if that makes sense. I know you know what I'm saying, Larry.
I
That's
do.
like,
Yeah.
that's, for instance, that's one tool. There's these traditional tools that we're talking about, the habits of grace. You get up, you figure out the way that your body wants to move. We
Mm-hmm.
exist in these bodies, and we have to move them. And I'm not saying exercise for exercise sake.
Again,
That's not
structure
me.
again, though. Yeah, and then that comes into the dreadedness of structure, right?
You
That
have
every
to,
morning
well, yeah,
affirmations
but
or exercises,
there
right?
has to be a way to move the energy in your body. To me, I mean, there's lots of choices. I used to think that it was only like Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga. But my thoughts
Mm-hmm.
now, the more that I look at what's coming present, which is the somatic exercises, and it's like you can go online and you can see that you can pick and choose, like a menu of what works for you. What do I want to do? What does my body need? What do I feel called to do? Yes, there's cardio, whatever way you come at that. In any way. I mean, yeah, I could be walking around the neighborhood, but you could also buy one of those little, what do you call those things? Those bouncy. I'm seeing those little small ones that you can bounce, and you
Yeah,
could just bounce
yeah,
for,
I can't think of
right?
what the hell it's called right now.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? There's like freedom.
yeah,
The
yeah,
other one is like, it's about moving the energy in your bodies, right?
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
also like,
Basically,
um the other thing I'm going to offer, and I can't believe I'm offering this, but hey, it's been working for me, is that I swore I would never do games on my phone, but over the last 2 months, I have succumbed to, I don't do group games. I like games like Mahjong, or I like games that get
Mahjong
your
is good.
mind,
Yeah, it's a good mental kind of
that get
stimulator.
your mind. Yeah, because
Tetris, Tetris. If you're one of
it,
them kind of,
it it takes your thoughts and
I'm
it puts
confused.
them, and it's like a focused place. That's a good
Yeah,
thing. I don't see me
right.
doing it forever, but I use it sometimes to help me center. Yes. Breath is always there. Breath is ancient and eternal, and it's one of those that you could really become a master at learning how to control your breath, and that is profound.
You,
Um, go on, Larry.
billiards is a good one too. I really like to shoot pool.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
yeah. My dad has a pool table, and I really like to shoot pool. It's kind of like dealing with quantum physics in a way. I mean,
It is.
the difference
Yeah.
between a broke pool hustler and one making into the millions sometimes is just a hair of a
They're seeing the angles.
difference. You know what I mean? It's just that
Yeah.
angle. It's just that right stroke, that right fluidity, right?
They're seeing
Yeah.
the angles. Yeah, they're that's what I'm seeing in my third eye. They're seeing the angles now. And I know pull. I love pull. I'm not very good at it,
I'm a
but I
nine
love
ball
it.
guy. I don't really like straight. I don't really like. I like quick, fast. Let's go, man. I like nine ball. I like playing nine ball like they do in the pros. I mean, straight pool's okay, but I like going 1 through 9 and bam, 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 bam.
The yeah, my younger sister was on a pool league for a long time, and
Hmm.
good friend of mine is a very good pool player. Yes.
What's
That's
your
one of
favorite
those.
color of felt, Carolyn? If you were wealthy and had a pool table, what color would your felt be? Have you ever thought about that? I've thought about this a lot. I keep telling my dad, get
Purple
rid of that
or
fucking green. Let's get purple. Let's get some. Yeah,
crimson.
They were playing on
Crimson.
Mustard or Lemon Yellow on TV one time. I turned it on, and this was about 20 years ago on ESPN, and they were shooting on a mustard yellow felt pool table. It was really cool. It was a
Cool.
bright yellow.
This is
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, my
yeah.
first thought is the 1970s felt, crimson
Mm-hmm.
felt, or maybe the
Mm-hmm.
1920s, you know.
Yeah.
Um let me think. All right. I sing, like I was saying before,
Yeah.
but the other thing I'm going to offer is that for my being, and I've said this before, I hear music in my head. I get songs that come through, and I'll start singing them, even if I'm not singing them out loud. I'll start singing them in my head.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, that it's like I'm hearing that's like the modern mantra. Mantra is another one. If you're connected with yoga, mantra is basically you connect to it in yoga, and it's mantra works because there's a keyboard, basically your upper palate in your mouth, and you're saying these words, which are Sanskrit, and when you begin to recite them repeatedly and you're speaking them, you're triggering the upper palate of the mouth, that keyboard, which is shifting the brainwave state. And these are different recipes for healing, basically. And that's why mantra works. And you say it repeatedly, it entrains the brain. It's actually like an ancient recipe. So mantra is one of those that works. And it depends on the individual. Oh, that's right. That's right. I was going to mention this, Larry. Remember the so with the yogis, and I meant to break this down better. I'm not practicing, and I was trained a couple years ago, but I'm a trained Kundalini yoga teacher. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that one of the things that was really profound for me is when I learned about the bodies. I think it's the 5 bodies, like the spiritual body, the emotional body, the mental body, the physical body, and I don't remember the last body. But basically, when you learn and you connect with what is the body for you that is your center. Like for me, my body, the body for me that is my center is the physical body. When my physical body is in decent health, I don't have to be like mad crazy health, mad crazy muscular, but good health, then everything else comes into alignment. But for
Yeah.
different people, it's different things. Like some people, it might be your mental body. Your mental body is in perfect alignment. Everything else comes into alignment. It's your center. So that's something that I really suggest, because for me, learning that for myself has helped me keep myself centered generally. Doesn't mean my body hasn't. Yeah, I'm working on getting back in shape now,
Are you
even,
still
but
powerlifting or what? Do you do that
I don't do
anymore,
that.
Miss? No.
No, I prefer, is it, I think it's called isometric exercises, where your body weight, you
Mm-hmm.
use your body weight to, yeah,
Yeah,
I much
resistance,
prefer those.
right. I was thinking of that's funny. I was thinking about that earlier about using that,
Yeah,
It-
those are ones I was in the gym when I was younger. I don't want to live in that space.
yeah, you become a
Yeah,
slave to it. Yeah.
I'd rather be outside. But it's
Unless
like,
it's something you're really into, unless that's your bliss doing
yeah,
that. But
if
I
you
mean, but
like
when you get caught up in the
it's a
hey Jason, love and
personal.
light to you, brother. Yeah, I mean, you get caught up in that, man, and you get caught up again in a structure, right? We get caught up in a structure system, right? Where it's like every day, and then you're just doing it, you're on autopilot again, like you talked about at the beginning.
The structure, so it's the hard part, because you know, there's the, we like the structure, and I said this the last podcast about that my guides would say being comfortable is being asleep. But it's a place of balance where
Yeah, I don't think they quite mean though.
you need
Just
to be
yeah,
challenged. It's
mailing it
about,
in, right?
yeah, it's not about, I'm here, I'm not, it's not about sitting in the hammock all the time. It's about, you sit in the hammock, and then other times you're moving around, and other times you're doing other things, and it's the variety of stuff, basically.
Yeah, we don't
But
really
yeah,
have hammocks up here. The weather's not good enough. Do you guys have hammocks down there? Like Gilligan laying in the
yeah,
hammock. I mean, I always
they
imagine myself flipping over and shit in one.
guaranteed there's hammocks here, but I don't think
Yeah, I'm
anybody's in
sure.
them. It's just too hot right now.
Yeah,
Maybe
boy, I
it'll
don't
be in
envy you.
another
I bet it's
month or
miserable.
two. Yeah, yeah. So the bodies, though, the 5, I think it's the 5 bodies. Research that for yourself, but if that resonates, find out the one for you that is yours, that works for you. Maybe you're one
Hmm.
that your emotional body needs to be really solid. Um, Find out the one for you, because when you connect with it, it will be really profound. you will have a direct access to centering yourself much easier. You'll also be very motivated to do it. Yeah, Larry.
Yeah, I was just reading a question
You're
that came
reading.
in down.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
reading the question if there was only one path to enlightenment. Well, there's always more than, I always take the back roads, my friend. So, there's always there's more than one way to Avalon. There's all kinds of little back roads to get in there.
This is me. I'm just going to speak my truth. This is my truth for me. To me, there are infinite paths to the divine.
Oh,
And
totally.
to me, and the other thing I'm going to say is there are infinite paths to the divine. This is just my personal truth, and any way to them is individual, and it's none of my
Yeah,
business.
I would
Individual
shy
thing.
away from anybody who tried to say there was. I just roll my eyes and say that's great, and ask them when they're going to go on their next comedy tour. Usually, when I get people on the page and that say that kind of shit, that Christ is coming, all this shit, and I mean, yeah, I know
It's
he's coming
okay.
on a slow, leaky raft from Antarctica with Scotch tape to fix it up with. He's on his way. He's on his way, and I'm like, okay, so what? Good, that's great. I'm thrilled. Well, he's coming back. Well, I mean, but they make it sound like, oh yeah, Big Daddy's coming home with a stick, and you better turn off the lights, turn off the TVs. I hope you weren't up later. It's
The
going to be
fear.
5 lashes, and you're going to be grounded for 5 years.
The
So
fear.
yeah, I
That's
mean, I don't. Yeah, it's just a fear factor. I mean, he's coming. They're coming. They're coming. They've been, like the alien. They're coming. The robots are coming. They've been coming since the 1950s. On a bad late night horror movie. But really, there are. But what I'm trying to get at is, can bring. Yeah, yeah, Jason. I'm not. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah. Oh, really? Is that what she's charging now? Okay. Anyway, yeah. Wow. Well, hey, you know what? God bless America, huh, Jace?
What's
Yeah.
going on?
Oh, I was just reading his kid's comment. Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, dude, that's oh, really? Am I reading that right? Oh, man. Well, heck, really, God bless American capitalism, my friend. Then, yeah. It's more
Where are
than
you?
okay.
Are you on Facebook? Are you
Yeah,
on?
yeah. No, I'm on YouTube reading the. You can't see the messages coming in. No, okay. Carolyn can't see. Yeah, I'll tell her afterward all about it, Dad. Yeah, I'm sure she knows her too.
Shoot. No. Why not? I don't know. Don't ask me. No,
Yeah, yeah,
let
yeah.
me
I
ask
mean,
you
but you
about
know
you.
what I got to say? What he's getting at is the amount charged. Hey, man, God, all I have to say is to people that are able to get money for teaching enlightenment and stuff like that. And there are people that are good at it. There are a few people that I would recommend. Carolyn is one of them, and there's about 3 others. I'm not going to say who they are. If you can hit me up afterward, and I'll tell you, I always say there's 4 people that I would say if you've got the money, they're worth it. And she's one of them, and the other 3, I'm not going to plug them on here. They know who they are, and I think they do anyway. But if you want to know, I don't have a problem saying. I'm just not going to say it right over air who the
All
3 of them
good.
are.
All good.
Yeah,
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 it's the people that are drawn to you are drawn to you for a reason, right? It's
absolutely,
resonance. There's
absolutely. It's
already a
always an energy transfer, and it's
soul
always an energy
recognition,
transfer too.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right, right.
Yeah, the other tools I was getting are just I was guided. What are the, even throughout the day, because just like you and I were talking about it before this podcast, this time is passing so differently. It's like I
Oh,
was
big
just here
time.
10 minutes offline waiting on Larry, and that 10 minutes felt like I felt like I was sitting in my office for a day.
Yeah, I
So
felt like it too when you had to leave for a second. I'm like, okay, and then I thought it
what
was just
time is
1
it?
minute 5. Yeah,
How long have I
really.
been? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Weird. So it's oh yeah, that's a big one. All right, yeah, that's I was just now reminded probably the biggest tool is gratitude. Um Gratitude is a life, it's a life infuser. It's very
Yeah.
very very significant. um I call it climbing the gratitude ladder. It's something that I have relearned myself when I kind of lived through years of misery. I would be in a very miserable place crying, and then I would just reach for a thought, one positive, happy, beautiful thought that is something I was grateful for. If something
Hmm.
even really silly, the shirt I'm wearing, the car I'm driving, the soda that's in front of me, the fact that I have $5 in my checking account and I'm not negative,
God, I
right?
wish.
Something,
Damn.
something,
Yeah.
anything. And then I learned how to just climb that. So I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. It begins to lift you energetically and emotionally. So you're like, okay, cool. I got $5 in my checking account and I'm going to see my mom next week. Maybe, you know, I haven't seen my mom in like 7 years. So it's like, you know,
Oh yeah,
I
she
have
coming
pets.
over? Okay, cool.
I have pets. I love my pets. And you just begin to climb it until you really start to feel what you really, really are grateful for. Wow, okay, this part sucks. This happened today, but you know what? I'm grateful that I woke up today. I'm grateful that that, you know, my friends going through this and I'm able to talk to them. And I've been
Yeah.
through that before and I can offer them what I've been through. I'm grateful that I can, that I saw this person online and they went through this horrible thing and that I was able to offer them this comment that gave them this love. I'm grateful that I heard this new music today and I love it and it really lit me up. Wow, this was really awesome. I want to hear that again. These are just things that kind of they bring you up energetically more and more, and they bring you into the present moment because they're aligning you with your heart. And anytime
Yeah.
you're in that space where you're aligning with your heart, you're in the present moment. You're
You're in a
right
flow, you're in
here.
a zone. You get in that zone, man. It's like, you know, you're getting built up buttercup, but they're not gonna let you down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
and it's a very big deal, and I would offer that's a very significant tool. It's one I know I will always use in very heavy places. Doesn't cost any money. It's just reaching for those very positive thoughts. They're true. They're real. You're not blowing smoke up your ass. They're real things. You believe in them. They matter to you. I'm so grateful. I'm hearing a silly one right now. I'm so grateful I had enough money I could take my dog to the vet. Now he's fixed. Now he's well. Now he's clean. You know, I'm so
Hmm.
grateful that you know, that we've got my favorite yogurt in the fridge, you know, silly
Oh
things,
yeah.
but
What would
you
that
have
be?
them.
You brought it up. What would that be, Carolyn? What flavor do you like?
Chobani Greek yogurt, the vanilla stuff.
Mm.
I love that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, me too, totally. I mean, I'm pretty bland, but I was gonna say vanilla is my favorite flavor. I don't really like any of the weird berries and shit. I'm autistic, so you know, any kind of weird, you know, anything weird messes with me. I don't like, you know, the
Who puts,
textures of certain shit and
who puts the berries
stuff.
in? I like the berries. I mean, I prefer granola.
Yeah.
I prefer real granola in my
Oh yeah,
yogurt
yeah, me
and a
too.
little bit
Right,
of
right.
fruit. That's me.
Yeah, a little bit.
A
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
And I'm a vegetarian, so I mean, you know, I'm a vegetarian that hates eggs, mushrooms, tomatoes, and onions. So you can imagine what a quandary I'm in.
It's like, how do you exist? That's my
I don't
things.
know.
That's like a whole, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know it is. It's weird. I don't know. I don't understand it at all. I don't know how, you know, I have plenty of protein and I don't know how. I really don't. It's could be sunlight, could be I
Yeah.
don't know. You know, I've just always been weird like that, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm strange.
It's the
No, I'm
body.
normal.
It's the way your body alchemizes or something is what I'm getting. It's you know, and I'm curious about that because I'm feeling more into that, but I'm gonna let
Hmm.
it, you know, because we each have that. We individually, the more we connect with our uniqueness, the more that we kind of we
Yeah, we're
see
kind of
how
taught to
very different
run
we
away
are.
from it, though, aren't we? We're kind of taught and programmed to run away from that uniqueness in a way, right?
Oh
And to
God, yeah.
go along with the mold, right? To go along with the stereotype and the same old, right? The same old Leave It to Beaver, white mayonnaise,
Right.
black and white world. You know, gee, Wally, gosh, everything's so neat, isn't it? So swell and lovely and everything because we're white and live in the, you know, halfway good part of town.
We were. None of that's true anymore. All of that's shifting. All of that's being turned on its head. And it's really beautiful that it's being turned on its head in such a very different way than what I would have thought 20 years ago. It's flowing into something very different. And I think it's awesome. It's amazing to me, you know?
Hmm.
Are you looking at, you keep, that's comments.
Yeah, yeah. I was just looking at,
Shoot.
yeah, Jason, you're right. And you know what I think about the, you know,
Hey,
the,
Jason.
the ashtray command. Oh, I shouldn't
What
have
is
said
it?
that. Oh, he's just talking about the Ashtray Commando. You don't worry about them. They're okay. They won't
Why
bother you.
can't
I don't
I?
like what you see it. Yeah. It's pretty funny what he's got to say. I don't know. Yeah, he got. Yeah. Jason, are you okay with me saying that on air? Yeah, man. Well, apparently
Uh-huh.
Ashtar was arrested. Ashtar Command was arrested. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go there. He was arrested for impersonating a deity on 3 planets, embezzlement of galactic funds, sexual harassment of a Centurion, Chandy. I don't have my glasses on, and he never learns and never ascends. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Jason's funny thing is I have that kind of feeling about that particular entity. So yeah, I don't.
You
You may
said that
know that
before. Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Yeah, you said that.
right. But no offense to people that love the Avatar Command or anything. I mean, I get it. You got to have a daddy to look up to. I hear you. I understand. I don't really, but that's your thing, man. Hey, to each their own. You do yours, and I'll do mine, and and yeah, and different strokes it takes. Different strokes to move the world. Yeah, you get yours, and I'll have mine, and together we'll be fine, right? Okay, how we're gonna get back on track here, but
Right. You back here, Larry?
yeah, I'm back. I'm back now. Yeah, I know. It's yeah. Maybe it's a good idea. You can't see his comments, but yeah. I just told you what he said, so yeah,
I
yeah.
did. I don't know. Maybe I'm meant to be like streamlined because the last thing I
Maybe
have is Blessed Valentina here, and then it's like nothing. But I'm
and
not
nothing
frozen,
else
right?
after that. Huh? That's strange.
It's
Yeah.
very strange. I'm not frozen, right? I'm
No,
here.
you're not. You're not cybergenically frozen. By the way, if I was wealthy, that's how I would go. I mean, if I had the money to do that, I would have myself frozen probably. Well, I would have before I had my awakening about 15 years ago, or not my awakening. I've been always awake, but before I had my UFO contact, I always thought about it, right? That I'd want to be just in case because there could be a possibility that I could have life again, right? So I
Okay.
really, yeah, and I think Rodney Dangerfield was, and I know Ted Williams, the baseball player, was once upon a time.
You know me. I have no interest.
No. Right. What do you want to do? You want to do? You want to be cremated, Carolyn? Or, yeah, well, that'll be
Yes.
another show. Would you like to be cremated, or would you like to
Fuck
be taken
yes.
care of by Mills
No.
Mortuary? At
Cremate my
Mills
ass and
Mortuary,
put
you
it
can.
put it around
No,
some
all
massive
right.
oak tree. That's what I'd
Yeah,
want. Real
yeah.
simple stuff.
I think we should get a sponsor. We could get Mills Mortuary to sponsor. At Mills Mortuary, you can rest for eternity in our soft, woven, handmade, eternal beds. At Milt Mortuary. It used to be Milton Sons, but it's no longer the Sons anymore.
All right,
They're resting comfortably on a long vacation.
back here, Larry.
Back
So
here, okay.
so I was looking at, one of the things in the intro that the guides had said is can you see your growth? If you can see your growth, you have the ability to see the process and how you got there. And that's significant because you can see what worked and what didn't work, because who you are now is not who you
Oh,
were even a year ago.
no,
And it's important for you to be current on what's working for you and to toss out what's not anymore, because you're not that person anymore.
no.
And it's gosh, the number of tools, it's like my mind is blowing. I'm just like,
Well, there's
you
all kinds
know,
of things you can suggest, but really it comes down to what resonates with you. To get people to think about what it is that they really like. And that question gets
what
thrown
hits
out there
you?
all the time.
Yeah, it's
But
like
yeah,
what.
but the way you have a way with words, Carolyn, you have a way to get people to think about things that they may have heard a million times, and then all of a sudden, they'll hear it from you, and it really it hooks things together. At least I kind of have that rapport with you, where it's like that.
Okay.
It's kind of your energy behind it, and I mean, because you're a combination of extremely scholastically educated and awakened at the same time, right?
And,
And you
and
blend them well together. It's hard to. I always tell people Carolyn is both the most boring and the most exciting person you'll ever meet, wrapped into one and intertwined together. And it really is. You have a calm way of being excited.
okay, thank you, Larry. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. I'm
you're welcome.
grateful. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm really thinking one of my tools that at least for me is that I will I don't do it. I watch TV. I'll go and like I've had a long day. I want to unwind and I'll go watch a show. And lately, and I
They get
can't speak for
programmed by
others,
it.
but I have to be aware of the show I'm picking because
Right.
you know, they're programs, right? And so you have to be aware, oh, okay, do you want to go on this emotional roller coaster? Okay, yeah, that's fine. You're going to
You're not
emotional, you know,
watching Lawrence Welk Hee Haw then. Okay, good.
yeah, or do you want to go into this, you know, fear place? I mean, you know, all of them are just like they're steps away from what you're dealing with. Yes, they are an escape, but you have to be aware of what you're immersing yourself into. Um,
Right.
it it's and it's a choice, but it's like, you know, that's another tool. Some people use food as a tool. Food can be a tool, but my suggestion is to be
Yeah, I
aware.
wouldn't encourage that. You start eating a shitload of your favorite food, right? And I mean, if it's broccoli and lettuce, that might be something different, or spinach. But
Well,
typically,
see,
that's not.
you won't agree with this because you're a vegetarian, but I mean, I do eat fish and I love to eat salmon. I mean, salmon, hot salmon, steamed salmon. Yeah, you're all disgusted. Yeah, no, salmon's good stuff. You know, like with a nice salad, you know, so it's making you feel good. And this is not necessarily, and we've had this conversation before, and I was even talking to, no, I was talking to you a couple days ago, you know, until you begin to, I'm hearing rearrange what you eat in your diet deliberately, until you begin to experiment with that, you may
Yeah,
not understand the statement about the fact that your body can want to eat something and want that, but your ego is like, no, I'm not going to eat that. And it can also be the same thing where your ego
it becomes this
wants to
battle.
eat, you're like you're salivating over this hamburger commercial and you're like, yeah, that's it, I want that, I
Yeah,
want
I
that.
want that
And you
Whopper. I
go
want
buy
that.
that thing and you think you're going
Yeah,
to eat it, and your body is still is telling you,
possible.
maybe, I don't want this anymore, I can't eat this anymore. And
Yeah,
you still eat it, and you eat
you're
it,
still
and
fighting it, right? Because you're not, especially if you're not awakened and not know this is going on, right? That shit's changing. Especially then, I mean, I can imagine that some people, it's probably driving crazy, Carolyn.
yeah,
I mean, honestly,
and to me, that's, I'm getting, that's probably happening more and more, where people are like, I want to go buy this bucket of chicken, and you go buy this big old
yeah.
greasy bucket of
But
chicken,
their
and it
body's saying,
used
"I
to
want a
be that
salad or something." Yeah,
it satisfied you, and now when you eat it, your belly is like, oh my God, I
yeah,
can't eat this anymore. I like the taste of it, but my body is like, and then you're sitting on the pot for a while, or then you're, you know, the bodies are ascending. These bodies are changing. The physical bodies are changing.
yeah.
We
I
are
felt this like
affected,
12,
you know.
13 years ago, right? I mean, I felt like, okay, people are going to start really craving more like lighter food, smoothies, salads.
Yes.
Not this real heavy shit, right? And I saw it coming down the pike, about a decade and a half ago. And yeah, I mean, but it's a slow process. I mean, that isn't shit for time. I mean, I say a decade and a half ago, that's a long time, but it really isn't. It really isn't. That was a nice comment about Carolyn. Jason, Carolyn is operating a high level and attracts highlight. Yeah, she does. That would be a good way to describe her.
Thank you,
Um,
Jason. I hope
yeah,
to talk
but
to you some point, Jason.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
great. Got to hear him on air. I've been playing back our shows. Him and I did a bunch of shows. I've been playing them back on the Rainbow Orbs page, so I can tape them from YouTube and not have to pay YouTube. But I've been playing them live on there. Yeah, no, he's brilliant. On the mic, very well spoken, and yeah, he's great. I've been dying to get back on air with him for like a decade now. Well, not quite a decade, but almost. But anyway, yeah,
I hope you guys do soon.
you're feeling your body. Yeah, well, we're going to come into the, we're going to be actually asking here a little bit later on. We're going to be asking and letting people know, if you want to be a guest on our show, we're not looking for anybody. Everybody's got a story. You don't have to be fucking David Wilcock. You don't have to be Corey. They're great, but you don't have to be them to share your story about awakening. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you want to talk about going through the motions. Those guys have been at it so long, they're just going through the motions now, and good for them. They worked hard to get where they're at. But um we want to hear your stories. But anyway, back to this food thing. Yeah, you still want your mind to want that, right? Don't you feel like you get into that struggle a little bit where you want your mind, you really like.
I mean, to me, it's less the mind and it's more the body. It's like
Yeah.
this is the way I get it. I respect any other interpretation. That's fine. But to me, it's like the body and the ego. And the ego is like, I'm this person and I eat this. This is what I eat. I go to work, I work hard, and I deserve to eat this big steak. No, with all response to that, I have no judgment on what anybody eats. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. I worked hard. I'm going to go buy this steak meal, this steak and potatoes and this thing. And it's something you've done for years. And for some reason, now you sit down, you want to eat your steak and potatoes, and you start eating it and it tastes awesome. But then you deal with the aftermath. You're, to be quite blunt, you're on the pot for a while, or you're nauseous, or you're beginning to
Alka-Seltzer
feel,
time, yeah.
and you're beginning to make the connection, the fact that your ego wants this thing, but your body does it. And it kind of confuses you, frustrates the hell out of you, because you
It's a
still,
strong feeling, yeah.
yeah, and I'm getting, you still have the taste of the steak, though over time, maybe you begin to associate that steak with, whoa, that steak does this to my body. Whoa, I still like the taste of it. But then what I'm getting, because my experience was when my body shifted in 2018 in the eclipse, I was guided and it felt like right. There was a sequence of things that happened. And I easily, I'll just say it, I easily stopped eating pork and chicken and beef. And the only reason I started eating chicken again, it was in COVID, because we couldn't get much other meat in COVID. We had chicken. I had to eat chicken. But
You guys must have really been hit by it down there. We didn't really notice too many of the effects here, in Oregon, where I'm at, during the COVID, like any kind of shortages or anything like that. People were kind of, man, it was really, well, there were some businesses that shut down. We had a Sizzler in town that was here since 1975, and man, it never opened up again. And now
wow.
they paid paradise and put up not a
Parking
parking
lot.
lot,
I
but a gas
remember
station.
Sizzlers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. They had a great salad bar, man. Being a vegetarian, man, you could go in there for lunch for $5 or $6 and raid the salad bar.
For
So
us,
yeah, yeah.
my babe he wasn't working, and I was only working a little bit. I was one of those that was blessed to be in a field where, because I was working with private families, so I still had work, but it wasn't a lot of money. So that was going to the food bank a lot. I think that was how
Hmm.
we were having to do it, basically. But I I'm trying to say my process, like when I shifted off those foods because that's what my body wanted, that was it. I mean, I even my mind, it was kind of like there's a disconnect. And that's why I'm saying, until you go through this yourself with your own body, you probably won't be able to connect with what I'm saying. But there really is a difference between what your ego wants to feed your body and what your body wants to eat. And it's something that's like, I'm hearing it's a hit or miss. You have to feel it out for yourself and for your own sovereign
Hmm.
body vehicle. What's going on, Larry?
Do you know what you could tell by my body language? Are you familiar? Oh God, I hate to admit this to Jason. I'm not familiar. What is Eucharist? Are you familiar with Eucharist?
What is that? Wait.
Well, they used to make him. He's saying that they used to make them partake in church of eating a slice of it, and it was like eating a slice of Christ. He said it was bizarre. Well, it does sound bizarre, but I really, yeah, man, it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure
That
what it is.
that energy and that word I know within me, but I'm not being given clarity. But there's a ding ding within me. That's all I'm gonna say, Jason. But I'm not being given any more details to that. Maybe they don't want me to connect with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
don't
it's
know if
it's
it's a vegetable. I don't know what it is. I see it now. I just caught on because I'm this how quick I am. Well, it's not Christ. There's an A there, but Eucharist.
yeah, I know. I got it. I don't know. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna write that
Yeah.
one down.
Okay.
I wrote it down. I
Well, you
wrote it
did.
down.
You did. Yeah, I
I did.
believe
I
me. She
did. I
did.
did.
People. She's methodical as hell. I'm sure she did. There's no question.
um it's like, okay, so we're talking about these tools, right? And then
Right.
one of the things that my guides pointed out to me, remember I said this like when we were first starting to discuss today's podcast, Larry, was that I heard very clearly heightened nervous systems. And so when we're talking about tools, for you to help you weather the storm, which the storm to me, what I'm getting is like this entire period that we're in, and I'm hearing 10 years right now in my head. The heightened nervous systems, the times that we've been in, we have heightened nervous systems. We are like on high alert, and it's very vital that we begin to step down for our own survival, is what I'm hearing, from these trigger places. And even now, like when I was giving you that example of the shows that I watch, there are some shows, they're very
like Different Strokes and
I like watching them. No, these are newer ones. I
good
like
times.
watching them, but they get into this drama thing, and I'm aware where I am when they're going to this drama thing, and that you're pulled here and here and here, and I have to weigh if I want to be pulled here and here and here. Yeah, the story might be good, but you have to weigh, is it worth it? Because when you get to that high adrenaline place, you have to step yourself down from that, because that calm place is the place of, I'm hearing that's the place of creation. That's the place of the centeredness, the calmness, your ability to be in a peaceful space so that you can see all around you 360 with what's happening in your own personal reality. You're not going to see it in the heightened place. You have to calm down, and then you can see all the way around. And so any one of the tools that you give yourself, that you provide yourself, needs to be ones that step you down from that adrenaline. One is definitely what I've said in other podcasts, the solfeggio frequencies. I'm listening to one right now as we speak. 528 hertz, 432 hertz, 417 hertz, 111, 1111, 369. So many of them, right?
But
I
you
think
can
there's
mix
like,
them together too, not overlap them.
mix
But
them.
I mean, I'll take a bunch of them and mix them together in a 3-minute reel for people on the page, from the quantum, my quantum
Right.
university learning center. Jason says that, of course, what you might want and what you may need are two different things as far as your body goes. And I think
Very
that's
much.
kind of one of the human, that's certainly one of the plights that we face down here a lot with things, right? What we want and what we need are usually two different things. Not usually, but a lot of times they are. And it's just kind of hit and miss. It's not always, they don't always align with each other, is how he put it. And it's right.
When
Yeah.
you
Not
when you
rarely,
get
actually.
when you begin to calm down your nervous system from listening to the frequencies, or maybe from walking outside and tuning into the sounds outside, or maybe you are closing your eyes and you're meditating, or you're calming down your breath, from those places, that's where you can begin to discern and decide between your wants and your needs of the body. It's not something that you can really do in the heightened places of the nervous system when you're charged, and
No, man, it don't
you're
work too good.
you got tunnel vision in those places.
Yeah,
So you got to calm down. You got to
totally.
come into the present moment, and you got to center yourself, and then you can tap into those, to lots of questions, to lots of things.
Yeah.
I'm even getting something now about, that's interesting. I'm getting something about heightened nervous systems and how we were trained, is what I'm hearing within my head. And I'm seeing like walls, screens, blocks, that way of existence has, I'm going to choose both of those, had and has allowed these blocks, and I'm getting that these blocks are whole realities, whole other realities that exist. But because we had been in this heightened place, I'm almost getting goosebumps telling you this, because we've been in this heightened place of protection, of survival, of feeling like we had to continue looking around our shoulder, of feeling like there was an external threat, of any one of these things, where many souls still exist. And I respect that, because many exist at many different levels. As you are at that place, there are these walls, and I see these huge walls, and they're blocking out whole other realities that cannot be seen, because you got tunnel vision in that place of the heightened nervous system. And I'm not saying that's not part of living in the human body, because certainly there are physical threats that can happen, and those need to be respected and honored, depending on the space that you're in. But it's also to be aware that you have to bring yourself down from those places, because you won't see entire realities in those places, nor will you see your divine truth in those places. Larry?
Yeah, you really, and it's a really a kind of a tough quandary to be in sometimes, right? I mean, you can know that you need to, and it's hard. I mean, it's like this eternal struggle, right? And you've got all these emotions and thoughts coming into you that really we've heard. Well, not all your thoughts are your own, but then we think, oh, they must be, they have to be. But the thing is, it's not that you're going crazy. You're a rate. I keep telling people this. You're a radio station. You tune into different frequencies, right?
Right.
You attract all these different frequencies. You attract not just from Earth, but a lot of times from all over the cosmos. I've had guys tune into me and tell me that's how they found me. They tuned into me, right? Not guides, just people. I have guides that have been with me my whole life, but at the same time, I have others that I've met from out there in the stars that have come to me since, right? That have found me or whatever, right? And if I resonate with them, I talk to them. If I don't, I don't. And I really have not had anybody that I don't. I've had to tell, to go to hell, but I would, in a New York fucking second. But really, I mean, I've had arguments with my guys, not arguments, but we kind of I've snapped at them before, and they've just told me to quit being a sourpuss. And yeah, that was about the worst thing they said back. Quit being. They said something funny. I don't know what. Quit being something. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
how I talk to my guides. I'm very blunt.
Yeah, Carolyn is very blunt and back and forth, and it's a quick transaction. Carolyn doesn't get into this fucking big old, Jane Roberts type ordeal where she gets up and waves her hands in the air like she just don't care and flings herself around and oh, sweet spirits, oh dear sweet spirits, oh yeah.
My goal, and the longer I'm on this earth, this lifetime, and to create more and more of who and what I truly am, my goal is to become more and more accessible, because to me there's no point in bringing through the wisdom that you are, and wisdom for me is experience viewed through the eyes of compassion. If you're not accessible, if it's not able to be shared, and it's all kept within you, what's the fucking point? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to preach at people for years. Like, we try to get people to go on air. Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, I have to really dig at them. Come on, what are you waiting for? I mean, it's now or never. I mean, well, it's not now or never, but I mean, this time that we're in, what is it that you're willing to type all day long? Why are you afraid to talk it with your voice, even on audio? You don't have to do face. You can just do. Yeah. You're going to enlighten me here and tell me, I'm sure.
Well, because when you're on paper and you're doing that, you're allowed a degree of anonymity, is what I'm hearing within me. And then there's a physical distance.
Mm-hmm.
When you're speaking and you're sharing your voice is a direct line to your heart. And so when you're speaking, you're exposed. It doesn't mean that you can't learn how to navigate those energetic spaces, but it's still something you have to learn, because when you first are speaking in public, depending on the size of the public, or even it doesn't even matter. You're just out there and you don't know who is receiving. It's very intimidating. It can be, and certainly different souls are going to feel different about this. But my experience is it's taken me forever to get to this place, because I've been in a place of holding myself back. And I've told you before, Larry, that I know, I'm very sure, and I don't even know how to say this because I don't believe in past lifetimes, but I'm getting past lifetimes, which I guess is another parallel lifetime.
Right.
I was an arrogant son of a bitch, and I
You
think I
were?
was wealthy and an arrogant son of a bitch. Yes, I've gotten that. Yes, I was. I don't know if it was a recent one, but it like stung my soul, is what I'm hearing, because I harmed people, and it wasn't something that I had wanted to consciously do.
Were you like a female Were you like a female J.R. Ewing from Dallas? I mean, were you just
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that it held me back for the longest time, and I had to be very sure that I wasn't going to become arrogant, you know, there's a place where you're standing and you're speaking in front of the public, and you also have to understand that humility is part of that conversation at all times, because there's no point just being this figure and not being accessible. People, you know, it's permeability is what I'm hearing right now. It's that somebody can like listen to this, to you or to me, or even to what Jason's saying or anybody else, and they can be like, hey, I like that. I think I can take that and I think I can make that my own. And that to me is the goal, you know?
We all share alike, right? We all feed off each other, and you know, it's okay to, you know, take something from somebody and make it your own, right? Because they had to take it from somebody and make it their own, or they came up with it through consciousness, which was a direct line, you know, to a higher self or another being that came into them, right, from somewhere in the cosmos or in a parallel universe or another dimension, whatever, right? So yeah, it's totally okay. It's totally okay to do that. I mean, I take a lot of, you know, the Paul Eagle, one of our favorite guys, Paul Eagle. I take the Paul White Gold Eagle, the Divine Sistar. Yeah, the Divine Sistar. I mean, in the page, I call a lot of the ladies that, you know, when I'm announcing their posts and stuff, right? So, I mean, I took that from him, and I've got a lot of my catchphrases from stuff. I learned a lot from a guy named Roddy Piper, a lot from Ric Flair, a lot from Muhammad Ali, right, on how to talk, on how to use mic skills, right, on how to make it my own, but make it my own style. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
You know how to run it three ways. Know how to get people to hate you and want to kill you, or love you and want to follow you into hell to fight the devil, or just be even keel and smooth. It just all depends on what role I'm in, right? Whether I'm just hosting a show, which is what I prefer to do. I'm a lot different when I'm hosting versus doing a self-talk by myself where I'm putting it out there like how, you know, because it's just me and the airwaves, right? But if I've got somebody on with me, I try as much as I can to make it about them and not about anything about me, right? I mean, I'll comment sometimes now and then, but I'm not going to get off on like I am now, I guess. But, you know, well, we're co-hosts, but when I'm having on somebody as a guest, yeah, you know, so it's like I want them to tell their story. I mean, I told mine a million fucking times. There isn't much more I can add to it. And I even tell people, you want to know about my extraterrestrial contacts? I have an interview I did with a girl named Bridget Rao years and years ago. And there it is. And that's how it is. Otherwise, you can hear it in 20 minutes or I mean, a half hour, or you can hear me go on and rattle on and rewrite the Constitution and tell you over and over again, you know, the same thing before I finally get to the point. So I guess is what I'm doing now. God, my nose. Yeah. God, I'm getting ugly.
Layers to my story for me, and I'm still
multidimensional.
I'm still. It used to be in the past I could be like, bump. Now I look at what I've gone through, and it's I'm looking.
Your body is a multidimensional field, but your chakras burst out, you know, this circle all around you, and that circle, as you ascend more and more, there becomes another circle and another circle and another circle, and you just expand to total awakeness. I guess at some point in your state of being, where you're in complete oneness with everything, right? Like I wake up one day, look in the mirror, I see you, and I go, "Who the hell are you?" And you go, "Well, who the hell are you?" And then we both realize, well, I'm you, you're me, we're the same body, right?
Beautiful.
So all these cells and organs made up a body, but then all those cells and organs wanted to go out and have their own vehicle and have their own body, right? And it just kept manifesting and manifesting and manifesting, right? And then what happened was they forgot to keep spreading that light, spiraling that light like the great central sun Alcyone does. So what happened was darkness started, and then physical density started. Then, you know, and that's kind of how darkness came into being, the way I'm understanding it. Yeah.
The contrast.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Whatever I just said. Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you have it, sports fans. Yeah, from Cosmic Stadium in Maya somewhere. But yeah, you can't see the comments, huh?
No, I can't. It's like I want to refresh, but I can't refresh because then I'll leave the stream, right?
It will. It's very touchy. This technology is different, but when, you know, Jason and I were doing shows years ago, we had Google Hangout we had to run it through. Okay, there were some pluses with Google Hangout, but you could not have more than one person on camera or it would fuck with the flow of the whole voice, everything. Wow. It would mess with everything. And so, you know, very frustrating it was. There was some easier things about it, but it was really the technology has vastly improved just in the last 10 years. Since those days, right? It's become more Everything's more quantum now. Everything's more digital. Like it's not just like a Facebook, like a timeline where you go click on something, you got to click on another thing and then click on another thing to see it. It's more of like these newer, like TikTok and shit is just Instagram is more just constant reels you're going through visually. Things are more physical, right? You don't have to click on these words and shit, right?
It's very quick processing is what I'm getting. It's very
right, extremely.
And you have to be again, you have to be aware of what stream you're tapping into and what you're fueling and what you're feeding yourself. Because if you become unconscious, which I'm hearing within me, and that's the point, for not all of them, but for some of them out there, that's the point, is that you're watching them unconsciously, because it's like a different rhythm that comes into your field, is what I'm hearing. But if you're watching them and you're kind of like, it's easy to scroll. I mean, that's one of the, but
but now it's coming at you now. Instead of just scrolling and seeing what it is, you can click on like the words of it. You know what I mean? The heading. You're seeing the video actually right there. I'll tell you, Carolyn, real quick. I was on TikTok the other night and I was just scrolling through, right? And I don't do that a lot, but I was just scrolling through and I was just taking it in and just second by second by second by second, this, that, an ad for this, something for that, this and that, everything, right? And I just like, wow, wow. I didn't really think nothing of it. Didn't frustrate me. And I was like, huh, wow. Well, people are out doing their thing, and that's good. I looked at it from a positive standpoint, right? The people were stepping into their power, right? And God love them, for people that are, they can make their way with it. Hell yeah, man. I don't, hey, God bless it. But
that's the way I see it. At least I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at people. Generally people doing stuff and I'm like, hey, it's like more people are they're sharing you with their voice, they're sharing with you their truth, and lots of times it's beautiful, not all the time. Sometimes you're like, yeah.
Carol and I have this little Coke and Pepsi thing going on. She's kind of an Instagram girl, and I'm more of a TikTok kind of a guy between the two of them. And and so it's like I was giving her a bad time. I'm like, yeah, but man, Carolyn, Instagram is. I know why you like it there because you're so methodical. It is like being at the rest home with the old folks, whereas the TikToks are going to the studio. Man, you're going to the dance on TikTok, but on
quick. It's quick.
Yeah, but I noticed Instagram's starting to get quicker though, so they're following suit. I mean, things seem to be picking up on there a little bit, don't you think? Or maybe I just didn't notice shit.
No,
And I was talking to
and then and YouTube as well. You can get caught into YouTube.
Facebook's even starting to get
which is just like Instagram. Honestly, you get caught watching, and you're like, whoa. And then they got them on Facebook too, where you're just like watching that, whoa, and then you go to the next one, whoa, and it's real easy to eat up your time if you're not conscious of
very easy.
Oh my God, I've been staring at this screen for 30 minutes.
I've learned to embrace it. I've learned to love it. Hey, I've learned to love that I'm on when I quit for 5 years doing all this shit. There was like TikTok and Twitter, and there wasn't TikTok. There was Twitter, Facebook, and Facebook didn't even have a live really yet. They were just getting into the infancy of it, right? MySpace was already faded out. But now I'm embracing all these, and I keep trying to get people. Nobody wants to take me up on this, but real quick, I keep getting people, asking people if they want to come on and talk about what they like about their favorite social media platform. And I want somebody that doesn't just use one or two. I mean, I want somebody that uses 3 or 4 of them at least, that knows, not just, well, I stick to Instagram, or I stick to TikTok, or I stick to this or that, or I don't broaden my horizons at all. Oh, TikTok's not for me. Well, why the hell not? You're on Instagram. Don't you want to, get a little bit of a pulse going? So it's like I want somebody, because I just use it, Carolyn, mainly for the brand. I get on, I do mostly socializing. I do is on the Pleiadian and Angelic Rainbow Orbs page, but all this other stuff I'm using for the brand, basically, right? Snapchat, Instagram, UChat, WeChat, eChat, we all chat. Blue sky, purple sky, gray skies are going to clear up, put on a happy face, threads, dreads. I don't need any street cred, but I, can't grow any dreads. And threads, lemonade. Just ask my friend Nate. We went on to say what he likes to do on there. It's something, but you know what I mean? But back. But sometimes in a controlled way, it can be kind of therapy to go on and check out what people are doing, right? To
Yeah.
kind of look at it if you keep it in perspective.
No, you can, like, I know I'm not the only one. I love watching the animal stuff. I love watching I mean, I just right there, wow, it's hysterical. I get caught up in that. I watch
Yeah.
other stuff too. I love
Well, I'll tell
watching
you what, Carolyn, and I'm not going to out them. Well, I am. I'm going to, because I'm on one of them. I
what?
use one of them for a lot of taping, and they are kind of a cesspool, I got to admit. They're called scoops. They're what all these paranoid people think of TikTok as, which TikTok is not. Scoops is very, I don't know, but, I just use it for the brand. I don't care. I can be around, some businessmen or some gangbangers. I've been in both and out of both and with both. And so, whatever setting I'm in, I just kind of roll with the punches and do my thing and all that. But Scoops is really kind of a cesspool if there is any of them. But it's just that's what it is. It's like people getting in fights at the Little Caesars over a pepperoni or some shit. Somebody slicing somebody's throat over there was one less pepperoni on their large pizza.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I can't watch those.
no, I don't either, man. But I mean, they're there though. You can't.
I have people send me stuff, and
Really.
I used to feel that when somebody would send me something that I would feel obligated to watch it. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
this is the end all be all answer. Well, it better be.
even
I tell them it better be, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you right
even
now. If it ain't, dude, you're gonna get a
no,
cosmic
it's
whip
like
ass whipping on the astral plane like you ain't never had.
I used to
So
feel
it better.
obligated to watch those, and then I reached a point, I don't know, probably last few years, where I'm just like, I can look at it and I can already feel the energy of that video. Depends on the person if I'm even going to click on it. If I do click on it, and if it's something that is definitely a lower frequency, and depending on my relationship with them, I may or may not even open it, because you already know. And then sometimes I'll open it because I'll start watching it and I'll be like, yep, I felt this, and just say thank you for whatever, and don't put much of my energy into that frequency, that whatever,
Mhm.
and technically you could even say this is a tool too, because you have to be aware of where you're putting your energy and what you're putting your
Yeah,
focus on.
I try to keep in mind. I've had to grow to keep in mind where they're at, right, or whatever they're doing in their evolutionary growth. But I tell people straight up, it better be the end. If you're going to tell me this is great, it better be the end all fucking be all. Because I've seen it, I've heard it, I've done it. Anything in 3D you could imagine, I've probably done or watched happen. So, I've seen somebody get baptized. I've seen somebody get their throat sliced. I mean, so you know, so it better be like the end all be all. I mean, this thing better be the equivalent of me hitting the literal jackpot if you're going to send me some link to
Better,
watch
yeah.
or check out. I mean, it better be, or I mean, we're going to find out later on in the astral level because we're going to be going 9 rounds. And it'll be really great if I have to knock you out, and it'll be fine if I have to knock you out in 9. It'll be really great if I get you in 8. You'll be going to heaven if I have to knock you out in 7. You're going to be in a worse fix if I have to do it in 6. You keep talking all that jive, I'm going to do it in 5. You call another woman something that rhymes with a bore, I'm going to knock you out in 4. You keep fucking with me, you're going down in 3. If that don't do, I'm going to get you in 2. Yeah, if you try to run, I'll get you in 1. And if you don't want any fight, you better keep your ass home that night. But anyway, I'm pulling a little Muhammad Ali there, right?
I
Anyway,
hear you.
yeah, but no, I don't mean to be that way, but it's just that I've seen it so much, right? I was already over it like 11 years
Right.
ago.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So
there was a time where I would appreciate all that coming my way, but then I mean, after somebody keeps telling me, "Hey, have you heard this guy?" Yeah, I heard him like years ago, man. He was great then, when I was in, kindergarten in my involvement.
I hear you. What I was saying is that you have to be discerning about what you're allowing in, and one of your tools could be to not open that video that your friend sent you, because you can already feel the energy and you already know where it's going to
Mhm.
take your mind, where it's going to put your
And
thoughts.
it's usually old, and I saw it being hustled around, years ago, usually.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
so one of the tools, maybe one of the main tools other than gratitude, all those other small ones that have been given, is discernment, to be very to hone your discernment of what you choose to allow in your reality, to make it the reality that you need to be supportive of you. And I'm not talking about the external thing. I'm talking about your internal reality and your thoughts and your energetic
Mm-hmm.
state and your emotional state and even your immediate external reality, if it's supportive of you or not, and what you need to change in it to make it supportive of you to whatever degree you can. Can you make it more quiet? Can you
Yeah.
change the lighting? Does it, do you need to maybe clear the energy energetically? Is it heavy energy there? You need to sage. Do you feel it needs to be a space that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable, to help you center, to be your go-to place, to help you recenter. And then I'm being guided within myself, even if you don't have the physical place, or even if you aren't able to access the physical place in your home, or you aren't there, you aren't home, to learn and have at your fingertips those tools that you have, that you connect to, that work for you, and maybe that you're taking on new tools when you're in an external place that help you center, that help you pull you away from whatever those external events are that you're not responsible for and you can't do anything about, or maybe that you're not drawn to, that you just
Mm-hmm.
really, you're just kind of like, I respect that, but that's not my monkey, not my circus. And that
Mm.
they're over
Yeah.
here doing this thing, and that you in your space, maybe, I'm getting even like your office, a bathroom stall, a corner in a room, whatever. You close your eyes, you center, you inhale deeply, you breathe. Maybe it's lunch break and you're listening to some relaxing music, or meditative music, or you're walking around outside. If you work from home, take off your shoes, go walk around outside barefoot. Or maybe it's lunch hour, things that you need to do to recenter yourself, and those
Uh,
things that
Carol,
that
oh, are
work
you
for
still
you.
there, Carolyn? Now
Yeah.
okay, there you are. Okay, there you're back.
You left and you came back. You were
No,
literally
you
gone
did.
1 second. One
You were
second.
gone. You were gone. Mine showed you go away. My camera on. For those of you listening on Twitch, TikTok, or X, or Facebook Live, we're on video on YouTube. And Carolyn went away, but she thought I went away. But I could still hear your
That's
voice, and
weird.
maybe really I went away,
That's weird.
or
Yeah, because
did
I'm
I?
sitting here and I'm seeing me move, and then you like
Yeah.
flashed out. So I was just going through because I was getting directed towards when people are working from home, and then those that are not, they work external from home,
Yeah.
and those tools that they need. Um, and when we say tools, again, and we've said it earlier in the podcast, but this is a huge variety of things. This is the physical stuff that
Mm-hmm.
people are thinking of when they're thinking of the tools, but it's also whatever that is that helps you recenter and reground in every moment, to help bring you into a place of peace. Um, I I reached a place a good 2 years ago now within myself where pretty much generally all the time I'm good, I'm peaceful. It doesn't mean that I don't have some days where it's kind of crappy and it's very intense
No.
and I'm emotional, but I move through that space quickly because I address it and then I
You're
go
always
back
in
to
an
peace.
upbeat mood. Yeah. Yeah. You're about a
Generally.
hair away from being annoying that way, but you really are always in an upbeat, positive kind of a mood, really. You seem to be, or
Yeah,
you
but
project it and you make people feel like you are, even if you're not. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just like anybody. I go through times where it's like I told Larry, I was able to sleep a long time last night.
Yeah. And I was thinking, she tells me this, and I'm like, oh, what? You slept 4 hours? And she said, no, she slept 10. I'm like,
I
fuck,
slept
man.
10.
So what?
Not
Yeah.
everybody could do that. But I came home from work and I was like, fuck this. I'm tired. And I went and I took a shower. I ate
Good
my
thing you don't
dinner
have a
standing
prostate.
up, and I laid down
Yeah.
and I kind of de-chilled, rested, whatever.
Chill.
And then I
Yeah.
just finally fell asleep, and
Right.
I didn't watch the shows I normally watch. I didn't do the things I normally do in the evening because I felt like the last few days before today have been like energetically
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. Big
And,
time.
you know, so, and in, it's kind of like we shifted.
Hmm.
Today's a different energy than yesterday completely. Um, you
Yeah, it is
know,
a little bit. Yeah, quite a bit.
it's very different. And so what I'm trying to say and what I'm offering to anybody is that the ultimate path to this, to become aware of these tools, is that you have this conversation within yourself, and that conversation within you just deepens and expands all the
Hmm.
time. You become aware of where you exist in any reality you're in. Where am I? How do I feel about that? What is my center? How do, what matters to me in this space? And you find, and you center yourself in that space, no matter where it is. What is my truth in this space? Where do I fit in this space? And if it's a place
Hmm.
that is energetically very, I'm hearing, even abhorrent to you, then you do your best to not be in that space long, for one. And the other is to navigate your best until you can get out of that space. And then to intend that you won't have to be in that space often, or that aspect of your reality uh, gets to a place there where it resolves itself, or an answer comes, or a solution comes, because I've been there. Because the whole point is that this inner conversation that we have within ourselves, each one of us, we're having all the time, and it's no longer this thing in the passive, in the background, where you are getting this other information external and you're taking it in and you're making it your truth without discerning it. It's a
Hmm.
place now where you're taking that information external, you're aware that that's not you, and that's not necessarily your truth. You bring it through you through discernment, you filter the hell out of it to what is right for you and what isn't, and then you recenter. And to me, what I offer is you get into a place where this becomes a flow, an easy flow. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean you're not in
you
it.
exuberate that. Yeah, you really
Yeah,
exuberate that, what you're saying. I mean, I'm just telling you from an outside perspective, you really exuberate that. If I heard that description and could think of one person, it'd be you. Um, and that's for sure. But yeah, you really embody that, and and you've really put in the work to get there. It sounds like. I mean, we've had those talks, and it took
yeah.
it took you a minute.
There, and
Uh,
the point to
yeah.
me is that anything I'm sharing is resonates with any listening in this or any now. And if it resonates, what I offer is it already exists within you. You're just connecting with what already exists. And so the point
Yeah.
is to bring that conscious and present for you to be able to, I'm hearing, mold to your own.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Right.
Exactly. Carolyn, I'm getting that. This time it's my guides kind of urging at me. Are you? Do you have? You know what I'm saying? It's getting to be about that time.
I know it is. I'm looking at the time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. So
the
do
bomb's
you?
gonna go off.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to come in, and people, if you've never watched or listened to this before, they will come in. Either Carolyn's, usually hers, will come in. Mine, they kind of they know me, so they kind of sit back and wait. But hers will come in, and this time they'll either shut the show off or, yeah, right on cue. So, Carolyn, do you have any, before we wrap up, do you have any final things you'd like to say or anything like that before you let everybody know where in the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful dang world of social media platforms they can find Carolyn Lanier Roberts
Dang
and
world.
San
Yeah.
Antonio?
I truly feel that what I just said expressed probably the key point. Um, Anything else just kind of adds on. I'm seeing, what am I
Mm-hmm.
seeing? I'm almost seeing like an artificial Christmas tree, and you're adding on the limbs of the artificial Christmas tree. What an odd
Mm-hmm.
analogy.
Yeah, we
And
don't
that
have the pine needles to pick up. You sure don't have the
you don't
pine
have the
needles to
part,
pick up afterward.
and you're adding
Yeah.
on every limb. So that's the point.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
that's it. I feel like I don't feel like there's more coming through right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Satiation is what I'm hearing. So okay. I'm Carolyn Lanier Roberts, and I am a my mission is a reawakener of the conversation of the heart. For me, this is the conversation between the sacred mind, sacred heart, in the body vehicle, which I receive as the voice of the soul. And my entire
Mm-hmm.
purpose is to assist those that are called to me to help you connect with your truth, beauty, and grace as you are a child of God, an aspect of the universe, and to connect with that divine truth within you in your everyday navigating moment, to help you in that conversation that is you as you interact with everything else. I offer soul sessions where I offer the same thing. I also work with what many call the Akash. Within me, it's called the Library of the Heart.
Mm-hmm. I like that
And
better. Yeah.
it resonates so deeply for me.
Big time.
For
Me too.
me, it's like I receive, just like I said earlier in the podcast, there really isn't a past or present or past or future. It's all the present. It's all right
Mm-hmm.
now. It's all overlapping. And so if you are in a place where you are seeking clarity and direction because of something bugging you in the current moment, and we go into the conversation with your higher self and we end up going into your Akash, which again is called the Library of the Heart, what I
Yeah.
work with and what pulls forward for me is far less of what you are, what that identity is in that space, and more of how you feel and those
Yeah.
energies, because what you are shifts and morphs in every place. However, what you truly are never changes, but how you feel and how you receive things energetically significantly affects your reality. And so it's very important to become conscious of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also do individual things with souls on what their higher self wants and what they want, what they're called to do or something they're curious about. And yes, so I offer those soul sessions. I can be reached on Facebook. My personal page is Carolyn Lanier Roberts. Everything there shared is public. My mission business page on Facebook is Allowing the Light. That's where you can check out what I do and sign up for soul sessions if you choose. My rates are very reasonable considering how long I've been doing what I'm doing, but my point is to
Yeah.
be
Extremely.
accessible. What is it? I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube is Allowing the Light, and I really do need to do new videos on that. There's just been so much coming into my life, it's almost overwhelming. And my old YouTube channel is Carolyn Lanier Roberts. Everything I offer on those videos, the old and the new, are all relevant for any soul that's called to them. I have an Etsy store, Allowing the Light, where I offer my light language infused blessing pics, which are photography that comes through me from my guides and from my ancestry. They have light codes and light information. They also have channeled words, but they are not on those cards yet. That's a process. Those are on my Etsy store, Allowing the Light. And what else? Am I forgetting something?
Let's see. You're allowing the
Oh,
light on Instagram, but there's an underscore between allowing and
yeah,
the light. So there's an
Allowing the
underscore
Light
there.
on
If you look,
Instagram.
and look for her on Instagram. Let's get her 1,000 followers. She's getting close. So they require you to have 1,000 now on Instagram to go live on Instagram. So I'm like, Carolyn, we got to get the hustle out going there. You need like 50
Well,
more or something like that.
you know,
Yeah, 50 more people. Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
And then the last thing I'm going to say, because I say this at the end of every podcast, is that Larry and I both channel. Everybody channels, every soul channels when they become conscious of who and what they are, because the
Mhm.
light that you are is undeniable. And it's just a matter of connecting with that and bringing it through in the present moment. And
Here
then
to
you're
me.
channeling. Channeling to me is, it's basically you're receiving these energetic impulses that your pineal gland, which is the master gland in the center of your brain, interprets as
Absolutely.
words or language.
Absolutely.
You see images, and I say hearing, and it's really not hearing. It's not hearing for anybody. It just is so there, so audible, so accessible that you receive it that way. That's channeling.
Absolutely.
We
You have the best way to describe it. And I
we
ask
we
Carolyn
all
all
do
the
it.
time to repeat that to me because the way she puts it, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, I've got it. I made her even take a voicemail and do that to me, send me exact Carolyn, describe channeling the way you do it. That's perfect. The way, because you put the technical aspect on it of how it's done. through the pineal and the whatever you said, but it's exactly what it is.
It's
The
breathing.
interpretation, everything. Yeah.
Breathing and higher levels. It's breathing.
Right.
That's it's not
Beautiful.
anything woo or anything like that.
No.
So I offer that because he channels and I channel, and then we go back and forth because we have what we want to share individually, but we're always receiving and bringing through in the podcast, which you kind of get, we get sidetracked sometimes, but we do our best to bring it through. All right.
Yeah, I do my best not to let that happen. Carolyn's always trying to go off on
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I mean that's it. This podcast kind of went everywhere, but I kind of
Well,
feel like every podcast we bring through is aligned in the energy of now, and
yeah.
so this works for now. And I am grateful for anything that I said or Larry said that served any soul in this or any now. It's truly an honor and a blessing. And thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I go into this every show. I could sit here and tell you what all the chats and grams and hymns and haws and eights and nates and that I'm on and skies and all the different platforms because trying to promote a brand. I'm on every single one of them but SunCloud that I can think of. I'm sure there's some I'm not, but I mean, if the way you would find me is if I'm under the Larry Locken channel. Of course, with some of them, I have a different actual surname on there, like on Blue Sky, I'm Pleiadian Blue Sky Orbs. On Lemon 8, I'm the Lemon 80 and Pleiadian. Lemon, the number 8, IAN Pleiadian, and I do the Lemon 80 in minute, a couple times a week on there with the Lemon 80 and Pleiadian. And that's just my kind of, that's just how it comes. I'm weird. But basically, there's one place you can go to find everywhere I do, everything I've ever done in social media ever. It's called Rockin', Locken. That's Rocken, not IN, because my last name is Lock. And Rockin', Locken social media outlets, or it's got a surname too. It's the Larry Locken Network. That'll tell you all the groups I ever created on Facebook, all the pages I've ever been on, all the YouTube channels, which there's 5 of them that I created. That's how many they gave me when I signed up to do this through Google Hangout about 14 years ago. So, I'm now using them all, marrying up with pages and stuff like that. So there's those. You can find them all, Rockin' Larry Locken social media outlets. And, go ahead and give it a like. It's not a page you'll get bothered by. I only post there when there's a new project. That's it. Like with the show, when Carol and I started to do this show, I put on there that, hey, this is our page. This is the show. I don't post any shows to it or anything. So you won't get any dings. And boy, I'd really like to, I'm not obsessed on numbers, but, if Jason's still listening, he knows how not obsessed on numbers I am. I'm close to 10,000. I've got like 9,900 and something. I'd really like it if for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is a couple more likes. Yeah. So I'd get to 10,000. Carolyn's like, yeah. I know she feels sorry for me. So yeah, go there and hit that like button or follow button. It's the same thing. See, they are different though. If you hit like on a page on Facebook, you're hitting both like and follow when you do that. But if you just hit follow, you're just hitting a follow, right? But they're the same thing anymore. It used to be only like, that's it, but it's like and follow. And if you like, you follow it as well. But if you just follow it, you just follow it. So I don't know what the fuck the difference is. It doesn't really matter. It adds up, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, so it's all good. Go there and hit that like button. Tell all your friends, call all your neighbors, call Betty, call Bob, call Tom, call Lou, call Susan, call Mark, call Todd, call Rich, call anybody you know. Get in the phone book, start looking people up, call them up. Tell them to go to Facebook and go to the Rockin' Larry Locken social media outlets page and hit that like button, right? I mean, get on your phone book. You can go to the library and get a phone book still. They have them there. I mean, you can get on the phone today as soon as we get off. Now, I'd sure really like it if you would. So, it was pathetic enough. Anyway, people, we love that you listen in. Tune in every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Of course, it'll be at 11 o'clock Central Time where Carolyn Lanier Roberts is.
Next
yes,
week.
Carol. Next week we're starting. Oh, I'm glad Carolyn reminded me. Next week we'll be doing it on Friday. Starting on next week, we'll be doing it on Fridays. Yeah, that will be on the, I don't know, it's the end of the, so I can't do the, what is that, the 5th? It's sometime in a future now moment, right? It's on, Carolyn's
Friday will be
she's got a master's. Yeah, it's on the 5th. Okay, so I was right. Thank you, spirits. Thank you, sweet spirits. The 5th, we're going to be doing this on Friday mornings, but it'll still be at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 Central, 12 on the east. If you're out a little bit, maybe up in Nova Scotia, it'll be in the Atlantic time zone, which that'd be 1 o'clock your time. Over in the UK, it'd be 5. You start getting to Scandinavia, it gets up, the hours start ringing by, 9, 10, 8 hours. 12 o'clock rock. We're going to rock around the clock. Well, that's what we do here on the Consciousness Conversation Show. Okay, we rock it. We touch on topics that all intertwine together like a thread, kind of. Not like the social media platform, but we have like a thread we have, right? They all intertwine together, and we do touch issues that a lot of people may not like to, but that starseeds are going to have to reckon with at some point. You can go back and look at the list. We have a playlist of all the shows we've done. There's, numerous ones. And we're just getting rolling because there's a lot of things to do and a lot of, yeah, I feel like that, Carolyn, like that. Yeah, Carolyn was twirling her fingers and pointing at her, side of her head like, wacko. Yeah. Well, I feel like that, right? But I'm a little bit wacky, man. It's the Pleiadian craziness in me. So, yeah, but anyway, you can find me on Larry Locken social media outlets, and you can find everywhere I'm at in the wonderful, wonderful, excuse my language, motherfucking world of social media you could ever want to find somebody. Except SunCloud, I'm not there because I don't sing, but I will sing to you if you like. I'll sing some episode. I should have done it to Carolyn on her birthday, which was just recently, and I just turned 50 on August 1st. So, yeah, and I feel and look every bit of it. Trust me. So. That being said, we're going to wish everybody a big cosmic dating game kiss. Unless, Carolyn, was there one last thing you were dying to say? No? Okay, wow. That's
We'll see you next Friday. How's that?
We'll see you next Friday, 8 days from now. Be there or be square, as my old teacher used to say, the drug counselor that turned out to be a heroin addict all those years when he was telling us not to use. Yeah, anyway. So, true story. Yeah, I want to know about Mr. So-and-so. Hit me up in private. This guy was something. All long sleeve shirts all the time, mood swings. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that being said, we're going to wish everybody a big cosmic dating game kiss. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And Carolyn, I'll be back with you in a few. I've got to run and take care of an errand, and we are out. If I can hit, okay, let's say goodbye to, Facebook Live went off on us. Okay, so Facebook Live didn't get our outros. Okay, goodbye to X. Oh, my exes. I wish all my exes would move to Texas, but that's another story. Let's see, we're going to get off of there, and we're off of Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch. I'm not twitching no more. Thank God I'm off there and stream. Oh, I don't want to say anything bad about Twitch in front of them. Okay, now we're going to say goodbye to goodbye TikTok, hip hop, and it don't stop, and it won't stop, not even at the break of dawn, on and on. Okay, and we're out of TikTok, and we're still on. Hi, bye everybody. If anybody's watching, I love you. Hi, Mom, I love you. Hi, everybody out there in television land or on internet land, and this is Larry Locken, your host with the most from coast to coast, giving up all the toast, giving you coolness, hotness, and everything you could have possibly cosmically wanted us. And Carolyn, I'll be back at you in a minute, girl.
Okay. Bye.
Did we exit out or are we out of here? Are we out of here?